Hi, hello and good morning. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Anna and I'm a second year English student at Cambridge University. It's become a little bit of a tradition for me to do a week in my life at the beginning of my terms and the end of my terms. And okay, so this is not actually the beginning of my term. I am slightly late, and that is simply because I came back early, and so for me, I completely just forgot when the actual start of term was. But for those of you that get very frustrated that I always start on a Thursday because that's how Cambridge weeks work, you will find this video much more satisfying because it actually goes from Monday to Sunday. Like, what? Shocker. As always, please do take these with a little bit of a pinch of salt because, like, even for me, my days to days, my weeks to weeks, my terms to terms, they're all entirely different. Workload's entirely different. What I get up to, like, in my social life is entirely different. I just wanted to start this video by saying a huge congratulations to anyone who recently received an offer to come to Cambridge. That's amazing. You should be so proud of yourself. I hope to see you around in Cambridge next year. And I guess I should also say Happy New Year, if that is still relevant considering it's like literally the end of January while I'm filming this. For me at the moment, I'm just starting my early medieval paper. In second year for English, you can get the option to pick up a paper from another subject. So you can do a languages paper, or you can do an ASNAC paper, or you can do the early medieval paper. So in first year, they ask you whether you're interested in picking up a languages paper, and you have to then do an application, and you can then study it in the second year. A very small group of people take this paper, and they are made up of ASNACs and classic students and a couple of English students. So I am on my way to the first 9 a.m. of the term for me, and fittingly I'm really late. So I've been rushing around all morning, didn't get to finish my coffee, had like the quickest breakfast of all time. I'm now practically speed walking into the English department. It's a Middle English translation class that I'm going to. I had to translate the first 40 lines of The Owl and the Nightingale in preparation.
An imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
After the class, I had a really awkward break, so I went to the cafe that's on Sidgwick site with a couple of my classmates. And I went to a lecture, and I have a lot less lectures this term than I would normally have, but that's because I have a lot of translation classes. To make my life a little bit easier, I went to the English library after my lecture to go and pick up a couple of books, and this stopped me having to go back and forth between college and the Sidgwick site.
Calico.
I've also started making a big batch of soup at the start of every week so that it can be my lunch every day. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm making like a faux chicken soup. While walking through town, I also came across some of the posters that I'd drawn for shows this term, which was really cool to see them actually printed and up. This year I'm in charge of hosting a dinner once a term for a society, so I spent some time making the invites. In the evening I had a movie night with my friend Maddie, and I picked us up some Gardies on the way over, which is one of the best takeaways in all of Cambridge. Fight me. So I maybe might have slightly screwed myself over with this week's essay, considering it is due tomorrow and I simply have not done the reading like the really smart and organised person that I am. So today I am attempting to cram all of the reading and not get stressed in the process, which I really feel is a losing battle. I am starting by reading the set text for this week's essay, and those are King Horn and Havelock the Dane, which are early Middle English verse romances. So they are written in early Middle English, which is, funnily enough, very hard to cram read. So wish me luck. So I'm now off out to the ADC because I am assistant set designing for Lent, and I'm starting on my favourite part of any set today, which is signs. I don't know what it is about them, but I just love doing them. One thing I found I really enjoy doing at university as like a break and a really nice creative outlook is student theatre. So I've actually signed up to do quite a few shows this term. I really need to stop making a habit of literally having to sprint to my classes. I now have a Latin class all the way on the other side of town in the English faculty, which is a terrifying prospect in itself because I've never done Latin before. Once a week, my boyfriend and I have a long distance Zoom dinner date night. So far this morning I've had a meeting with the college nurse, and I meet with her every week for an hour. I've now decided that I'm going to go out of my room and try and find a nice place to go and write my essay in. I am absolutely exhausted, so I'm feeling a coffee shop is going to be the way to go with this one. For me personally, I like to write my essays kind of alone just because I get far too distracted when I'm around other people. And I've never been like super big on going to coffee shops or libraries just because I always thought that I would find the energy of having all of those other people around me too distracting. But I went to Waterstone's cafe in the first week that I got back to go and work on my dissertation, and I was actually like super productive, so I'm hoping that's going to be the case today as well. Perhaps it was like an act of osmosis, you know, just being around all of the books made my English brain work.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say.
So I severely underestimated how much time it was going to take me to do the critical reading for this essay. I was literally in Waterstone's cafe for about 6 hours just trying to get through the reading. After this, I walked over to the Corpus Playroom Theatre in order to get my headshot taken for Rent. When I got back to college, I had a really quick dinner, and then I tried to do some focus meditation because I heard it helps, and then I spent the rest of the day working on my essay. So I have achieved words. Whether they're good words, we will see in my supervision tomorrow, but words they are nonetheless. I am absolutely exhausted. I am going to give it one last read over and make changes as I go along, and then I'm going to try and do something to help me rest and relax, and then tomorrow I will give it another read over with a fresh mind and then send it off to my supervisor. Sometimes this is just the way that weekly essays are. Sometimes you will just get a day to sort of get everything done and it feels so intense and so overwhelming, but then also some days you have a lot more time to sort of balance it out. It really depends on the workload that you have for other things and also your time management skills, which clearly this week for me have been quite poor. But like, for example, last week I managed to spread the writing out of the essay over several days and it felt so manageable. Last term, my practical criticism seminar leader put me in touch with a medievalist PhD student, and today I am meeting with her. lunch I started reading and annotating some poetry for my practical criticism seminar tomorrow.
Cut my hair in the dress that you wear. Don't you leave, now it's my time to go.
So I've just had a bit of a power nap in order to try and get myself some energy, and I'm now walking to my supervision, and my supervisor this term is at Robinson College. For those of you that don't know, supervisions are like very small teaching. I think it's just an Oxbridge thing, and in terms of English it's like normally just you or you and maybe one or two other people and a supervisor, and you will go over the essay that you wrote that week.
The dress that you wear. Don't you leave.
I then just had a very chilled evening. I watched a documentary and did some painting. I spent the morning doing the rest of the practical criticism reading, which in this case was essays on the Keats poems that I'd read yesterday. I then went to the English faculty yet again for a class on Anglo-Norman this time. And straight after this I had my practical criticism seminar. On the way back from the theatre, I popped into Sainsbury's, literally just to grab some milk. I had a bit of a lie-in, bit of a scroll on Instagram, of course. And then I did the translation that I was set in order so that I could be prepared for Monday. Of course, I'm now going back to the theatre. Absolute sucker for pretty skies, so I decided to go on a little bit of a walk after the theatre, and then when I got back I made dinner and then did some poster designs for part of the set. I then curled up in bed and started reading this book, which I actually got on the Cambridge market last term. I started the day by going to meet the producers of yet another show that I'm working on this term, again as a publicity designer, and they just came to give me the poster that I'd designed because they'd all been printed off. And then I went to go and do my washing, and I'm not sure about any of you, and I'm not even really sure why, but this is the task that makes me feel most like an adult. I can't believe it's been a whole week already. Today is going to be really lovely because my parents are coming to visit and it's such a beautiful day outside. We're going to go to the archaeology museum. They tried to come and visit me like once or twice a term. We walked around the shops and the market, and then we got some crepes for lunch because the Cambridge crepes van has vegan and gluten-free crepes, which is just amazing.
After making myself some dinner, I curled up in a load of blankets and did some reading. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please do give a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new around here. As always, please do comment below if you have any ideas for future videos that you would like to see.